It will, I'm under 1,000 subscribers, so it will put it down as private, and when this is done, I'll put it down as public. But at least I get to come on and talk to you. So, it will. Now, I'm joining in on the hashtag Leave the 30 by 40 Life 2022, created by Liz Harrison. So, Scotty Dogs, I think, is the other part of her channel. So, this is the one I have started. I tell you what it is in there, you can see what it is, but it's a beach scene with a starfish. 22 colours. Today is the 3rd of September for me. And I asked my youngest son this morning, how do I use hashtags on Instagram? Because I'm not used to using Instagram. I have had it and I haven't looked at it for ages, but I am keen to do this one because I do love 30 by 40s, and Liz Harrison, Liz seems to be a really, really lovely lady. So I am up to colour number 8. There's 22 colours and I'm up to number 8, so I've got them next to me. And I thought I would come on and do a little diamond painting and chat with you. And I will put this on Instagram. I'll have a go at it when I've done it. And really, when I get into things, it doesn't take me very long to do. Sorry about the bit of shadow of my head, but it is extremely overcast today. I always turn that down a little bit because when I first turn it on, it's a bit bright. So very overcast today, so I've got all the doors closed. Franklin and I have just had a little bit of playtime. So he's probably gone back to bed and have a nap, or one of his favourite things is looking out the bathroom window, which I leave open all the time for him, even in winter. So this one is number 8, which is E, which is up the top corner there. There's not much of this one. So today is Saturday the 3rd of September. And yesterday, Fridays, I always take Mum, go see Mum, anything she needs. So we went and I took her to the real estate because Mum doesn't drive. And she signed her lease, and then I took her to Services New South Wales. Services New South Wales in Australia is just a combined place where you go for anything to do with your vehicles, such as registration, anything like that, renewing your license. But it also does a lot of other services, government services, such as if you need white goods, anything like that, they help you with that. Anything like during pandemic, they had a wine and dine vouchers. So you get, you can go there, and I didn't use the ones where you could go to the movies because I wasn't going enough really to go anywhere much. But with the dine ones, I got $25 off some meals. I'm just shuffling you a little bit. $25 off the meals. So I went and did that and used those, which was really nice. It was all about promoting the economy and small businesses. So I took her there so she could get, as a part of her aged care package, so she could get some free taxi fares. Oh, rubbish over there. I'll move this over, so hopefully I'm not getting my arm in the way. So we did that, and then I took her to do her grocery shopping. We're setting it up so in her aged care package she can get some support from a government agency to take her grocery shopping, because Mum lives in a unit up some staircases, And to be honest, my right knee can't take carrying all that shopping up the stairs anymore. My right knee is sore. I've been to the doctor. Apparently I've got a torn ligament. How I did it, I have no idea. But he said it will heal over time. So I just have to take care of it, and lugging heavy grocery shopping upstairs does not help. So I'll just have to do it this month, and then hopefully we will be in a position where we can get somebody else to help Mum. That way then I can just take her to appointments if she needs to, or we can sit down and have a chat. Mum also wants somebody to go take her out and go and have a couple with, and maybe some fish and chips. As I told her, I can't do that. Being diabetic, and I'm going to do my best to look after my health and my diet, because the way things are going here in Australia, we've been very lucky. I have got a GP who bulk bills, so when I go to the doctor, it doesn't cost me anything. But Medicare is underfunded. So there's a lot of doctors now who do charge a gap fee between what they need to charge and between what Medicare gives out. So at this point, I'm lucky because my GP is still bulk billing, but that may not last because they do need to keep their practices operating. They do still need to be able to get paid and pay all their staff and buy their medical equipment. I understand all that. So I'm going to try and keep my health in check. So I need as little care as possible in the future, depending on how things go with health and money and economy. Because to be completely honest, I would much rather spend money on crafting than I would going to see a doctor. But I also don't want to put myself in a position where I put my health at risk because I need to see a doctor and I don't. So the best thing to do at this point, I believe, is to, I'm doing the starfish. Okay, the best thing at this point to do is to try and keep myself as healthy as possible. So I need as little maintenance as possible in the long run. And a lot of that comes down to diet. I've been watching a lot of videos online all about diet and how our diet affects our health and how much our diet affects our mental health. Now, I am on antidepressants. The brand is Zoloft. Now, I have been on 150 milligrams, but I have talked to my doctor and I have reduced it down to 100 milligrams to see how I go. And I am doing okay. I feel quite comfortable with the reduction. But I am also so determined to look after myself with what I eat. So there is no more potatoes, rice, pasta, cakes, biscuits, chocolate. Oh, hang on, I'll just get that thing. Sorry. Hello. Okay, we're going to have one of those days, are we? Automated Amazon scam. We have days, some days in particular, we can get 4 or 5 different calls from scammers. And today might be one of those days. Well, see how we go. That's number one. Because I still have a landline. But we'll see what happens. So yeah, as I was saying, no cakes, no chocolate, I am increasing the amount of protein. I have lower carb bread and lower carb wraps. But because of that, I don't want to eat out. I am still attracted by the smells of the food around me, and I do love it. Always love pasta, noodles, all that sort of thing. So in a way, you could say I'm a carbohydrate addict, and they say once you're addicted to something, you always are. You always will be. So at this point in my life, I'm not prepared or ready to eat out because I still find all that sort of food still too attractive. So I explained this to Mum, and she says various expletive words. Mum swears, I don't. And I said, it's like taking a drug addict into a drugstore and saying you can't have it. Taking me into restaurants and places where they've got all this food that for my health, not just physical and mental, not just physical but mental as well, that I can't eat. Maybe at some point down the track I may be strong enough to do that, but I'm not at the moment. All my strength is just going into just not eating it at all. And I have some of that food in the house because I've got other people in the house and I've got children in the house. Now, Mum said that for me, it would be easier than it would be for her because Mum's got a heart condition. She shouldn't be eating all that either, but she does. And as I said, it's harder for me because the food is in the house. I don't really talk to them about it much anyway. But because they're not there, I don't really think they don't understand. Unless you're in that situation, I honestly believe you don't understand truly what things are like. So as I told her, I said it would be easier for her because she doesn't have the food in. She wouldn't have the food in the house if she decided to do it. And there wouldn't be the temptations. There are some things I've had to accept. I don't cook potatoes anymore. I do love potatoes. I do love mashed potatoes, especially with gravy. But yeah, I'm not tempted myself. I'm just not cooking it. Oh, yeah, that was looking a bit bright. I wonder if I can tone this down a bit further. I'll turn it, not off, I'll just turn it down a bit so hopefully you can see it better. And I can still see because I do like having a light pad to make it easier to see the symbols. Not only is it the sugar levels, but also apparently there's a lot of foods that cause inflammation. They call them lectins, and tomatoes is supposed to be a really, really bad one. But everything they have told us about food since the 1950s is completely wrong. There were studies that had no correlation and studies that were paid for by the wheat companies and the sugar companies and just to promote their products. But in the meantime, they've been killing people by giving out false information just so they can earn money. I watch a lot of stuff online, not just one person, but I watch a lot of different ones about how studies were done, and any correlations were extremely weak correlations and proven later to be wrong. So there is certainly a lot to learn. We actually don't need to eat fruit, apparently. I still have an apple here and there, and I might have berries here and there, but we don't actually need to eat fruit. potatoes, pumpkin, that sort of thing. It's just not good for us. And even if I just use my crafting as the focus, I'm obsessed with my crafting already. So if I just boost that obsession a little bit more and think, okay, I want to, hang on, we'll see if this is a scam. This might be number 2. Let's see. Hello. Okay. Exactly the same Amazon scam. I haven't checked how long between the two, but I knew it was coming. They do it. They have some particular days where they just keep ringing and ringing and ringing, and seeing that it's a landline, can't block them and all this sort of thing, but it doesn't matter. I'll just hang up and then I'll have a whinge to you about it. Yeah, so there is a lot of things that we don't need. And really the thought is, if I don't buy these things that we don't need to eat, that's more money I can spend on crafting, done paintings. Simplify, because we eat to live, we don't live to eat. And I do understand that people use food for comfort. I have done it myself. I have been a mood eater for years, and that's a part of the reason why I have got the weight on me, but also the amount of weight carbohydrates puts on us, because our body turns the carbohydrates into sugar, and the sugar, the body takes what it needs, because sugar is a fast acting energy source, and then what it takes, what it needs immediately, and then what it doesn't need, it stores away as fat later. And then you have more carbohydrates, and it uses what it needs out of that quickly for sugar, in the sugar, and then stores the rest away as fat. So if we don't stop eating carbohydrates, we'll just keep storing fat, and the body will keep craving the quick energy boost in the carbohydrates, and we'll just keep storing fat and we won't use it up. I hope I explained that properly. But there's a lot on YouTube at the moment, a lot online talking about carbohydrates and how we were falsely told that we could eat carbohydrates, and how it has affected us, how it has affected everybody. Sugar and carbohydrates has killed so many people. And I'm not judging. If you cannot give up the carbohydrates, that's fine. I understand, because I have used food myself as a coping mechanism. But I have reached the point where I have become obsessed with my craft work, and I don't need to use the food as a coping mechanism, as a way to cope with things in life. So what really, buying diamond paintings and buying craft work is actually saving my life. We don't actually need the exercise that they tell us we need. It is the driving force of weight loss is to reduce the sugar and reduce the carbohydrates, basically. Reduce those and you lose weight. So that's any processed food, wheat products, sugar, all that sort of thing. So no soft drinks with sugar in it. They say that soft drinks with diet soft drinks, which has got aspartame in it, has a correlation of causing cancer. But that could be just another story, whether it's proven or whether it's just a weak correlation, I don't know, but I'm not going to worry about that one, because at the moment, for my ultimate health, I need to reduce the carbohydrates, focused on one thing at a time. So my thought is, if I reduce my carbohydrates, not only will it help my health, but I can spend more money on diamond paintings. Sounds good to me. So to me, it's worth putting the extra effort in to get rid of all those foods that I don't need. And I'll just keep myself crafting. So if you think that's a good idea, bad idea, think I'm doing the right thing, think I'm doing the wrong thing, just let me know. So they say green leafy vegetables, as long as you don't eat potato, sweet potato, pumpkin, and you're pretty well right with the vegetables. By what I can work out with salads, they're fine, just don't eat tomatoes. Apparently they're full of lectins, which causes inflammation. And I'm quite happy to give up the tomatoes. That doesn't worry me in the slightest. So yeah, I eat meat, dairy, eggs. I do eat salads. The other night I did have a little bit of lasagna but I only had one piece. Normally when I used to go back for a second serving. No second serving now, but I did allow myself to have one piece. So I'm not going completely carbohydrate free, but I do carbohydrate count a little bit. When I went to Mum's yesterday, Aldi, they have some peanut cookies. I like them. And they're 7.8 grams of carbohydrates. So I let myself have 3 of those. And other than that, the milk in my cups of tea, and we did have sausages and salad last night, was a little bit of carbohydrates that I had. So I don't think I overdid it. But I like salad, and I'm quite happy to leave out tomatoes. That works for me. So I can do that. I don't eat a lot of vegetables anyway, and if I do, they're usually the good ones: cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, zucchini, that sort of thing. So I'm quite happy to do that. But I think the main issue is the pasta. I absolutely love pasta. Now I know there's a lot of recipes online for low carb pasta and this sort of thing, but I don't like cooking. I cooked for years. At one point when we were fostering, we had sort of about like 5 or 6 extra children in the house. So I cooked a lot of meat and I cooked a lot of vegetables then. And at the moment, I'm just over it. I just don't want to do it anymore. Tonight we're going to have crumb steak and eggs. I'll do some fried eggs, cook some toast. And I've got my lower carb bread, which has got a lot less carbohydrates than white bread has got in it. And there's one particular brand that I like, so the supermarket hasn't had that in for weeks, but they got some in the other day, so I actually bought 2 loaves and I put one in the freezer. So if there is a shortage of low carb bread again, then I'm sorted for a bit. And I don't eat a lot of it. I don't eat it every day. So in the fridge, the low carb bread actually lasts, it lasts for a week or more. So that's what's been going on with my diet. My skin has been feeling better, which is nice. And I do like meat. I apologise to any vegetarians out there, but I have always been a meat eater. I've always liked meat. But we were always told don't eat too much meat because it causes heart disease. But apparently that was told to us by people who were just determined that that's the way they thought it was, without any hard evidence, without any proof, and with weak correlations. And there is still no evidence that that is what causes heart disease. And by what I have seen, meat promotes cell regeneration. So if we want to help our arthritis or any of that sort of thing, if we want our bodies to regenerate, then we actually need the meat, the protein. So, yeah, that's the story. That's what's been going on. I'm going to keep watching lots of videos on health, nutrition, and of course the crafting videos. Liz has put up another video showing her some of her 30 by 40 diamond paintings. And I will have a confession though. This one I got in yesterday. It was from the same company of the ones that I showed last time, but I actually thought I want to start on this. And so really, this is an unbagging too, when I think about it. Because you haven't seen this one. I only got it yesterday and I finished the elephant one. I thought, I'm going to start this one for the hashtag. So I did. Okay, we've got B's and we've got R's in here, but I'm just taking my time and just checking to make sure I haven't missed any R's. The R's are slightly darker by the looks of it, and if I miss any, then all I have to do is open the bag and get some more out. So I've got my, we call it sticky tape. As far as I know, Americans call it sellotape, if it's the same thing. But yeah, I just put my drills back in the bag, tape it up, and if I need to get any more out, then I just open the bag up again. It's only a piece of tape. So I don't kit up. I have done for really big ones, but I haven't done a really big one for quite some time, but I'm thinking about doing some. I have ordered some bigger ones. Okay, what colour is this one? Number 10 is N. So we've got some down here. There's none up the top. So it looks like all the ends are down in this darker part down the bottom. Okay, oh, there's a couple there. So I'll start working from the top easier first, because it's easy to get the ones in the middle if I pull from the top, and that way I'm not leaning on the sticky part. So I will make a big effort. There we go, up here, this is what I want. I will make a big effort to do an unbagging for those ones when they come. And I will probably put a link in for the company as opposed to the individual links, because with these companies, depends on the suppliers, I'd say, how long they've actually got the products for. Okay, got a couple in there. And I also didn't flatten these out either. With the full drill ones, I tend to think usually the weight of the drills tends to flatten it out, and there's actually no creases in it. It's a little bit curved from, yeah, I'll show you. It's a little bit curved from having been rolled up, but there's no actual creases. So if I show you there, you can see that is actually a curl in there, but that will actually flatten out. Plus, after I've done it, when it goes into the portfolio, all the diamond paintings I put in the portfolio, the pressure sort of will push them together as well to help keep them flatter. But there's actually no creases in it whatsoever. So it's really nice. I'm really pleased with these ones. I will pull this down further so I have little chance of leaning on the sticky. And I'll do down this bit down here, and then I will, then I'll push it up and work from the bottom. Because I don't like taking it off all the way. But if I do, I make sure I remember which way is up, because with this plastic sheeting, it will only go down on the diamond painting one way. If you put it the wrong way around, it is hard to get back up again. And I don't want to do that. I've done it a couple of times. I try not to do it. So other than that, nothing much has really been happening. They haven't been that long since I talked to you. And I don't want things to happen. I really don't want exciting things to happen. Might not be very interesting for you, but I don't need the stress of drama. I don't think anybody needs the stress of drama in their life. So I'll just keep going until I finish this colour, and then I'll call this chat done. If you want, now I'm starting to use Instagram a little bit more. I still probably can't see myself posting or putting much up there, but if you want me to put my Instagram details down the bottom in the description, I will. But I am terrible with social media and keeping in touch. I'm even terrible when it comes to ringing up people on the phone. I get wrapped up in what I'm doing with my craft work, and that's the end of me. Nobody else hears from me. When I was a kid reading a book, I was the same. I would get wrapped up in my book, and if anybody wanted anything from me, they'd have to tap me on the head of the shoulder to get my attention, because I wouldn't hear them. And I used to read so many books. I was such an avid reader until I had children. And then when I had children, I stopped reading because I couldn't get as involved in the book as what I do. And I haven't gone back to it because I have got my craft work instead. I know there are audio books, and I have listened to some on YouTube, but I'm not going to get Audible on Amazon because it's $15 a month. And not $15 a month, I can get a couple of diamond paintings for that, or one big one or something. I mean, why would I want to spend money on Audible, something like that I can get for free on YouTube, when I could spend it on craftwork instead? See, the obsession is real. But this obsession is technically saving my life and saving my health down the track. So I would class this as a good obsession. So if you are obsessed with any craft work, my recommendation is to get even more obsessed, because if you get even more obsessed, if you use that as a coping mechanism instead, then you can get rid of the coping mechanism. Words are hard sometimes. Then you can get rid of the coping mechanisms that are not good for you and class this one as a life-saving one. Not only that, but you've got gifts you can give people down the track. So you've got homemade gifts ready to go, and that also may save you money in the long run as well. So it's all good. There's lots of pluses there and no negatives, other than not ever being able to die, because we've got so much craft stuff that we have to live forever to be able to get it all done. But then again, we may live longer to get it all done because we're looking after our health. Seems logical to me. So if you want to ask me anything more about my diet, what I'm eating, what I'm not eating, just leave it in the comments below. I'm trying to make a bigger effort than I was before for answering comments. So if I haven't answered comments before or took too long, I apologise. I'm not even good at keeping track of my friends and family with phone calls and things. but they understand that. But also, they know if they don't ring me, that I'm not going to get upset either. That we get around to it eventually. I mean, it's not like any of us are going anywhere anyway. And I don't class myself as a high maintenance person. I don't need somebody every day ringing me up and sort of acknowledging that they know me and they wish to converse with me. I'm happy for other people to do their own thing as well. And sometimes life does get busy with appointments. I'm lucky at the moment because things have gotten fairly quiet. There are a couple of appointments that I haven't put on the calendar yet. There's one at the end of the month. I've got an appointment for get my shingles shot. Now, they put ads on saying that a third of the people over 50 get shingles. Now, shingles is left over from the chickenpox virus. It doesn't go away. It stays in your system. And when you get older and you get stressed, you get a chance of getting shingles. Now, Mum's had shingles. She told me how painful it is. And I don't want to get it. But even though they say people over 50 should get a shingles vaccination, it's not free until you reach 70. Now, I'm only 51. I'm not going to wait another 19 years to get a shingle shot. So it's going to cost me $250 to get the shingle shot. So I am booked in. I'm going to get that done because for my long-term health, I think it's going to eventually save me money and pain. That's always a good thing. So I will get that done at the end of the month. I've forgotten what date it is. I've got the card in my purse, but I haven't written it down on the calendar, which I should. But I know it's the end of September. But I'll let you know how that goes. They say that one is a live virus vaccination. So whether that actually makes me a little bit sick or not, I will wait and see. But all I know is I can't do anything outside because it's raining. And the kitchen is tidy. I will cook dinner tonight. So pound steak and fried eggs tonight, which sounds absolutely awesome. And other than that, I'm done with painting all day. Well, unless I decide I want to change out and do something else. But right now I am comfortable. A little cold. I do have tracksuit pants, long sleeves and socks on, but my feet are getting cold because they're untiled. So I may have to put a pair of shoes on as well. Or I might double up on the socks and put 2 pairs of socks on, which might be a plan because I'm not really a shoe person. I prefer to walk around the house in socks, so I might get a second pair of socks out. And it's the beginning of spring for us too. It'd be the beginning of autumn for a lot of you, but it's the beginning of spring for us. When I hear people talking about autumn, I hear the words autumnal, which I have not used to because we don't use that word, and fall. And we've never called autumn fall either. It's just autumn. That's it. No autumnal. No fall, it's just autumn to me. But I much prefer autumn to spring in a way because spring means it's going to get hot. I don't like the heat. Whereas I much prefer to be cooler because I can always just put on a second pair of socks to warm up. I don't have to try and sit in a puddled sweat trying to cool down. Well, I actually run out of things to talk about. And my throat, there's an up there, there's one there, a couple of these. And my throat's getting a bit dry. I could do with a drink and turn the kettle on and make a cup of tea. And so I might head off. I will make a cup of tea, then I'll do this colour in the bottom bit, because I'll pull the plastic back up from the other side and do this little bit down the bottom. And I can see myself working on this a fair bit today. Just looking to make sure there's no ends further up that I have missed. It doesn't look like it, but it's amazing how often I do miss things. I think, yeah, I've got them all. I can put the colour away, and as soon as I put the colour away, oh, there's another one. Okay, that's so fun. I do it all the time, and I know I'm not the only one. Okay, well, I'm going to head off, and I'm going to make my cup of tea, and I'm going to keep diamond painting, and I will come back and have a chat with you again another time. So please take care, get more obsessed with your craft work, because it may in fact save your life, and look after your loved ones. Bye.